Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel and welcome back to this mini YouTube video series that aims to look at different data formats and tools that you can use to handle, parse, and perform data analysis within them. In this video, we will be looking at YAML files, which is a text-based data format. So without further ado, let's get started. YAML is a human-readable data serialization language, and it is usually utilized to store data in configuration files and in applications where data is being stored or transmitted. YAML files use a .yml or .yaml extension and follow specific syntax rules. A YAML file structure is like a map or a list that allows you to associate key-value pairs, where each key must be unique. These lists or maps follow a certain hierarchy depending on the indentation and how you define your key values. To better understand this, let's look at an example of a YAML data format. As you can see, we have a YAML file that will describe a subject of circuit theory 1. Now, at the beginning of this YAML file, we have two lines that are commented out using a hash symbol. And YAML does not support multi-line commenting, so if you'd like to write multiple lines of comments, you would need to use the hash symbol at the beginning of the line. And it's always best practice to use comments as they describe the intention of the code. The three dashes at the beginning of the YAML file indicate the start of the file, whereas the three dots at the end indicate the end of the file. If you'd like to create a map within YAML, you would need to increase the indentation level. For example, for the subject, we have mapped to it three things: the name, the level, and the content. And the way we did that is through increasing the indentation. As you can see, the name, which has a value, the key name, which has a value of circuit theory 1, is mapped to subject. Level, the key level of 1, is mapped to the subject as well as the content. The content in this case is a list. And the way we knew that it's a list is that it has items underneath it that are also indented and start with a dash and space. You can think of this list as a Python list, whereas the map as a Python dictionary. So if we wanted to look at this example as in a Python sense, you would start a dictionary of a key subject and the value containing the key value pairs mapped to it, which are the name, level, and content, where content is a list. As we've mentioned, YAML is a human-readable data serialization language, and it comes in the .yml or .yaml data extension, and it is a superset of JSON. Now, there are many applications for the YAML file, like using it for the as a configurations file, or we can use the YAML file as a description file that includes the metadata of a dataset. So let's say we have, of course, before we start, we need to ensure that we have the PyYAML requirement installed and it's satisfied in Google Colab. And let's say we would like to create a YAML file that contains the metadata of a hypothetical dataset in which we will be storing the student grades within that dataset. And we want to create a data sheet that contains the name of the dataset, the source, where are we getting the data from, the author of the dataset, for example, a specific teacher, and what are the features or columns within that specific dataset. In this case, we have created a dictionary in which, because remember, the Python dictionary is very close to the map that the YAML file contains. So we've created a dictionary and we've named the first key of the dictionary to be datasheet, and this will contain the sub dictionaries or sub keys within it and the values, so the key value pairs that are mapped to the datasheet. In our case, we have the key name, which will be the name of the dataset, which is student grades, the source of the dataset, which will be, in our case, a certain database. So this is another key value pair that is mapped to the datasheet, and the author, which will be John Doe, for example, which is also a key value pair that's mapped to the datasheet. And we have another key value pair, and this will be a list. So the value would be a list, and this is also mapped to the datasheet. And the features or columns within this dataset is the name of the student, the subject, and the grades. So this is the metadata that we've created. Now, what if we wanted to dump this into a YAML file? To do that, we would need to import two things from YAML, the load and dump. So this will help us load the YAML file. This will help us dump things into the YAML file. So let's open up, in this command, we're just opening up a metadata.yaml file, which is not existent here. We will be creating it. And then we will YAML dump that metadata. Now this YAML.dump accepts 3 arguments, the thing that you'll dump, and in this case the file that we'll dump into, and it has a argument known as the default flow style, which we've set to false because we don't want it to be compact. We want it to be in a block style, and when I run this, you'll understand what I mean. So let's run this. So if I refresh, I get the YAML file, and we can see that we have datasheet, 4 main keys, which are the author, the features, which is a list, the name, and the source. Now, what if I set this to true? If I close this, refresh, open this up, we'll see that it's like this. It's very compact. So the block style is what makes it more readable. That's why I would redo this. I get this. Now, what if we wanted to read this YAML file? We do the same thing with open metadata.yaml. With, instead of the operation mode to be write, we specify it's read, and instead of the YAML.dump, we use the save load, which will load the same thing we've written into it. And when I open this up, it first fetches the author as the first key value pair that is mapped to the datasheet, and the features, which is a key value pair of a list, and then name and source. Now, what if I wanted to change one of these objects and dump that back in? For me to do that, to access, for example, the name, the author, and change it, I would need to take the object that I've loaded into the YAML file, which is loaded meta, and within the datasheet, I can access. So if I just run this, I get these. So within this, I can specify that I want to change the author and set that to, let's say, Smith John. If I run this again, if I run the loaded meta, I will see that this has changed. And what if I wanted to add a different feature? So for example, I forgot to specify which semester the grades are for. What if I wanted to do that? I would do the same thing. Loaded meta. Oh, sorry. So I'll just take this loaded meta datasheet and I'll go into the features and I'll append semester. So if I run this again, I just access this again, I'll see that this has changed. So we have a fourth feature that we've added to this list. We can, using the with open, we create another file, let's say updated metadata.yaml with the write operation. We can YAML.dump the loaded meta file and then set the default flow style to false. And with that, we have created another YAML file with the updated information where we've changed the author name, we've added a feature. So that's basically it for the YAML. And within the next video, we will be talking about the second data format, which is the hierarchical data format, which is totally different than the YAML file. So stay tuned for that.